Hey everybody, today I'm going to be talking about personality and physical traits. What are traits? Well, they're the things that make up who we are. And we have outside traits and we have inside traits. So, outside traits are what we see. What do you see? What do you see with Miss Bella? Well, yeah, I got brown hair. It is curly. What else? I have brown eyes. What kind of shirt am I wearing? It's got stripes on it, right? Black and white striped shirt. And I'm wearing a necklace. Good. Now think for a second about your friends or yourself or Miss Bella. And think about the things that you notice about them. Their thoughts, words, feelings, and actions. And all of these things can come together and create a personality trait. So for example, what if you're, think about a friend of yours and your friend thinks, I love my friends, okay? Or your friend wants to share his toys. Or he tells you, he says, hey, do you want to borrow my pencil? All those things come together and what do you think? What do you think about him? That he may be what? Good, kind. That's a personality trait. So those thoughts, actions, and words make up a personality trait, which we would call kind. What other words would you use to describe people on the inside? Smart. Okay, good. Nice. That's also good. Sometimes I can be shy, meeting people for the first time. Do you know what the opposite of shy is? Outgoing. Good. Okay. Courageous is another trait. These are good traits. Being brave. So these are good inside traits that make up people. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to read a story about a character in a book who has inside and outside traits. This character is a cat by the name of Magic. Magic the cat. Well, let's look at the cover real quick. What do you notice about Magic? He's a big round cat. You see how big he is? What else do you notice? He's brown and white. He's got some stripes. Good. These are outside traits. These are physical traits. Everybody say physical. Physical. Physical traits. Magic Thinks Big by Alicia Cooper. Magic contemplates his next move. Should he go in or out? What's he doing? He's thinking. Or should he stay right where he is? If he goes in, maybe he can convince them to feed him again. Magic's hungry, right? Or he could look inside the fridge or wait in front of the mouse hole. Maybe he should just stay in the doorway and nap. What do you think about Magic? He seems sleepy, right? Kind of lazy. Is that an outside or an inside trait? Inside, good. Of course, if he goes out, he could meet other animals. Maybe he could chase the loons. Do you see the loons at the bottom? He'd hunt them along the rock shore, stalk them through the reeds. What's that? That's his tail. Leap after them, then eat them. Is Magic doing these things? No, he's just thinking about it. What word do we use for thoughts? Thoughtful. He's thoughtful. That is an inside trait. Maybe not. maybe somebody else could chase the loons and he could watch. You see the dog? But he's hungry. Maybe he could catch a salmon. The salmon would be so large, he'd share it with some friendly bears. Magic wants to share. What's that called when people share? Kind. Friendly. Good. He'd get to the bear's island with the help of a moose. You see he's riding on the moose? He and the bears would pick blueberries for dinner, before dinner. They would eat salmon and blueberry pie. Yum. The bears could clean up. He would curl up and close his eyes and listen to the wind. The world could pass him by. Uh-oh. I think he's thinking about sleeping again, huh? And when he was ready, when the shadows stretched across the lake, maybe he'd ride the moose back home. Maybe not. Maybe if he stays right where he is, Magic's next move will come to him. The end. Magic closed his eyes and he kept thinking, what are some words that we would use to describe magic on the inside, using what we know about his words, actions, and thoughts? He didn't really have very many actions, did he? It was more thinking about doing things. He is kind. He wanted to share with the bears. That's good. He was sleepy, lazy. Okay. He used his thoughts. That would be called thoughtful. Everybody say thoughtful. Okay. Big fancy word. Imagination. Everybody say imagination. He's imagining things that he wants to do. He's also creating in his mind. We call that creative. Magic's very creative. I think he's kind of silly too. Good. What you're going to do now is you're going to pick out your own book. And it can be any book in the Everybody section. Use the cover or flip through some of the pages. And I want you to see if you can find a book that you're real interested in using outside traits. So I thought this book looked pretty cool because this cat looks pretty cool, using outside physical traits. And then I read about it and we figured out his inside traits that we wrote about just now. And what I want you to do this week is, as you're reading your book, you're going to figure out some inside personality traits. And then next week when you come in, I'd like for you to share with the class what you've discovered. Okay? Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it.